Welcome to today's news wrap up. Let's dive right into the top stories making headlines today. During President Biden's administration, nearly $2 billion of funds allocated to the Department of Housing and Urban Development were misplaced due to a broken process. The money initially earmarked for financial services was recovered and made available for other uses by the Treasury after efforts by HUD, Secretary Turner, and the Department of Government Efficiency. This situation highlights concerns about carelessness with taxpayer dollars and the inefficiencies within the government, the federal government, which is why the majority of Americans are for Doge, so we can clean this mess up. Current and former air traffic controllers are raising concerns about the FAA's hiring practices and an immunity program for controllers. They claim these factors contributed to a recent deadly collision near Reagan National Airport. The focus of diversity, equity, and inclusion in hiring, initiated during the Obama administration, has led to less qualified hires and staffing shortages. An investigation is ongoing, but past warnings about quality control and staffing issues in the traffic control system highlight the need for greater accountability and efficiency. A class action lawsuit alleging racial discrimination in FAA hiring practices is also underway. California has allocated $9.5 billion to provide health care to undocumented immigrants through Medi-Cal, with the deficit expected to rise to $30 billion. This is just crazy that they would put this much money towards people that came into this country illegally. But this comprehensive coverage includes dental, vision, specialist appointments, mental health care, and prescription drugs. However, the increasing number of emergency room patients and high costs are pushing hospitals like Martin Luther King Jr. Community Hospital towards financial ruin. This situation underscores the state's unsustainable budget and the potential strain on healthcare facilities. Legal experts argue that President Trump has a strong case to end birthright citizenship for illegal immigrants, a controversial issue under the 14th Amendment. Professors from Georgetown and the University of Minnesota highlight that the amendment's original intent was to grant citizenship to former slaves' children, not illegal immigrants. I mean, it's plain to see if anyone ever read the actual 14th Amendment. While federal courts have historically included all children born in the U.S., the Supreme Court may eventually decide on Trump's executive order. Critics point out that children born to illegal immigrants do not pledge obedience to the U.S. laws and thus may not be entitled to citizenship, which I would agree with. Concerns have arisen about the U.S. Secret Service's slow response to President Trump's executive order to eliminate DEI programs. A transgender trainee at the agency wants to use female physical training standards while being addressed as a man, causing resentment among agents. It makes absolutely no sense, though. Other federal agencies like the CIA and FBI have quickly complied with the executive order by disbanding DEI groups and removing diversity as a core principle. The situation highlights the tension within the Secret Service and the differing paces of compliance across agencies. After a speech by U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance in Munich, European elites were taken by surprise, leading French President Emmanuel Macron, the Rockefeller, the Rothschild minion, to call for an emergency summit in Paris. Trump administration officials disrupted the status quo during their visit, initiating direct peace talks with Russia without involving Ukraine or other European leaders. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth emphasized that Europe should handle its defense while the U.S. focuses on China. Additionally, Trump announced tariffs affecting $600 billion worth of EU goods, and Vice President Vance criticized the EU's AI regulations at a global summit. I'm sure y'all all seen that that clip from JD Vance. The U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, has been criticized for its connections to leftist pressure groups that influence the Biden administration. USAID has funded projects aligned with these groups, such as promoting critical race theory, climate alarmism, and gender ideology. Notably, USAID's ties with George Soros' Open Society foundations have raised concerns about the agency's transparency and potential biases. The Trump administration has highlighted wasteful spending with USAID, calling for greater accountability. Peter Strzok, the former FBI agent involved in the Russia collusion investigation against Trump, someone who I've reported on so many times on my old channel, has deleted all his posts from his X account. Very suspicious, right? Right when we have Doge going on, and we're cleaning up the swamp, he just happened to go and delete everything. All that smack he was talking about Donald Trump over the years are now gone. But this move comes amidst Attorney General Pam Bondi's commitment to ending the weaponization of the DOJ, as she was sworn in recently. Strzok's actions are perceived as a response to the new leadership, and there is speculation about the potential investigation into his and Lisa Page's $2 million settlement with the Biden administration over their leaked text messages. They definitely need to be held accountable. But we have a Wayback Machine, Peter. So you just deleting that is not really it's not gonna change anything. Federal authorities are cracking down on the dangerous Venezuelan gang Tren de Agua, TDA, with recent arrests across Montana. U.S. Border Patrol and ICE have apprehended several TDA members in locations such as Bozeman and Wolf Point. These efforts are part of a broader mission to tackle criminal activities and illegal immigration linked to the gang, highlighting the ongoing issues at the U.S. border. Lock them all up. Let's go. The Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, has prohibited its potential appointees from participating in the American Bar Association, ABA, or using its resources. FTC Chairman Andrew Ferguson criticized the ABA for being biased against Republican judicial nominees and supporting leftist agendas. The ABA's recent criticism of President Trump's administration, particularly regarding USAID reforms, was seen as politically motivated. Of course it is. Why wouldn't you want accountability and transparency? Senator Mike Lee and Elon Musk supported the FTC's decision to distance itself from the ABA, highlighting the organization's perceived leftist bias and questionable neutrality. Republicans in Congress. Sorry, I'm missing one of my reports here. That's why I'm stuttering a little bit here. So sorry about that. But Republicans in Congress has introduced the Agent Raul Gonzalez Officer Safety Act, aimed at increasing penalties for illegal border crossers who evade arrests. Named after a Border Patrol agent who died pursuing foreign nationals, the bill makes it a crime to flee law enforcement and imposes harsh penalties, including life imprisonment if an officer dies during pursuit. Wow, they're not playing around. But the legislation also amends the Immigration Nationality Act to make evading arrest a deportable offense and includes reporting requirements for the Attorney General and Secretary of Homeland Security. Well, that's all for today's news wrap up. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.